Hello. Hi, Linda. I'm filling in for Sandy momentarily while she is away. She'll be back shortly. When you come on, say hi so we can check the comments.
Hey, Mama. Hey, there's some more people on there. Say hi when you jump on so I know who's here. Sorry, needed a little break, quick break there before we got started. I think my screen is a little bit crooked, so I'm going to fix it. No earthquake. Okay, so how's everybody doing tonight? Are you guys ready to... Okay, so it says Linda's watching, but nobody's commenting, so I can't tell if I can see comments or not. There we go. Hi, Donna. Hello. How are you? Okay, hi, Mama. All right, I see you guys now. Yay! Okay, so tonight we're going to create a whole scene and make a card with our entire scene. So we're going to do some masking and we're going to do some coloring and we're going to kind of do all of the things. I'm going to clean my glasses real quick. Hi, Mary, so that I can see what I'm doing. But we are definitely going to do some masking. We're going to do some oxide. We're going to do some coloring. Hi, Tammy. So all the things tonight, all the fun things. Okay. So we might as well get started. I already pulled out my stamps so that I would have them handy. And I'm going to use the I Am the Walrus. I've already made masks for the two pieces that I need. So we're going to actually use I Will Walrus Be Your Friend. We're going to use this walrus. And we're going to use the ice block. So we're going to make a whole scene. And I'm going to start by stamping and masking to begin with. Oh, thank you for coming, Tammy. I'm super glad to see you here. I love it when people jump in. So I had to think about this because I want to I'm going to actually do a whole scene. So I knew that I needed to put the walrus down first, because when you look at it, let me move my magnet. When you look at it, if you're going to do the ice and you're going to do the walrus, hi Renska, you want all of the walrus to show, but some of the ice block will not show because the walrus is standing on it. So if you stamp the ice first, then you'll have this big line right through your walrus. So we're going to start by stamping the walrus. And let me lift up my pad. And then I'm going to use Memento ink. And I'm just going to get him all stamped up, because he is the walrus for sure. I'm going to use my espresso to evenly distribute the ink. And hope. Perfect. So see, now we have a walrus, which is super great. One step down, about a whole bunch more to go. Okay, so I'm just wetting my little pad here because my I need a new cleaner. I need to get another cleaner from the shop. But I won't be seeing Jamie for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So I will get that from her when I see her. So now I want to make him on the ice block, like I said, but I don't want to stamp the ice block over him. So we have a mask here. And when you stamp on the masking tape, you really have to cut out on the black line. So that's what I did with this one. Oh good, there's a break right here. Make it easy to peel. And then after I use this mask, I can then, I can save it and use it again. So I just want to get him inside the lines that I stamped earlier. Once I have him all lined up like that, then I can take the ice block and put it where I want it. And it's going to look like that little fin is hanging off the ice block. It's going to be super cute. Hi, Kay. So now we're putting the ice block on there and we're going to stamp that. But since we put our mask on there, we don't have to worry about, well, yeah, we kind of do because the mask just came off. Well, that's what happens when you do a live. You see the true everything. So no big deal. We already lined it up, so we're just going to put it back on. Go ahead. It's okay. You guys can laugh. Hi, Sandy. It's funny. And now I'm going to put my Memento ink on the ice block. And then I'm going to stamp it over top of. So we're building a scene, and then we're going to do even more building with the scene by using oxides, and we're going to color with copics. So see what would have happened if we wouldn't have put the mask on there? We would have gone right over top of our walrus, and we didn't want to do that. So when I peel off, then he's on there perfectly. Isn't that awesome? I love these. They make it so easy. This masking makes it so easy. Now we're going to use that mask again when we do the outside background, along with, we'll need the ice block as well. So I've made one for that too. Hello, you made it. I'm super glad you at least made it for a little bit. I hope you feel much better soon. Okay, so I think we're going to color him first and then we'll mask him up afterwards. And I haven't decided if I want to do him kind of as brown walrus, but I was thinking more maybe tan. So I think I'm going to go that, like a gray color. So I think I'm going to go with that, but I might mix in a little bit of brown with the gray. I've been doing that a little bit lately, and I really like the way it comes out. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like when you do it. So I'm going to use the T this go round. Am I going to use the T's? Yes, I'm going to use the T's. So I'm going to start with 8 and go down to 4. So 8 to 4. And then I'm also going to use Daniel Smith masking fluid. No, I've never heard of that. But somebody recommended this Eclipse masking tape. But I haven't used it yet. But look, it comes on a roll, so you get a whole bunch of it. I got it on Amazon. But I haven't tried the other one. But if you want to tell me how awesome it is, I'll be happy to try it. If there's other stuff you guys want me to try, I can do that too. Hi, Greta. I'm always up for new adventures. So I'm going to zoom in so you can actually see me coloring the walrus. So I'm going to start with his tusks, I think. I think. So I'm going to start with E43. And I'm just going to do up here real close to him. I want to just do a little. I'm going to do the edges too, because I think their tusks would always be dirty. I mean, we could be kind of morbid and make them red too. That would be kind of truthful, but not very appealing.
Masking fluid.
Oh my gosh, Tammy, you ask and look. Dale pulls it up. Art masking fluid.
I use it to mask props.
He uses it to mask props for his cosplay. So I've never used it, but Dale evidently has. We probably have almost everything in these two craft rooms we have here. So I'm gonna extend out from where I put that original color. Just kind of make his tusks a little long, a little light brownish color. Boy, you were Johnny on the spot on that, weren't you, Dale? So I used E43 and E42, but whenever I'm doing a bone-ish color, I like to switch then over to E51. It's just a personal preference for sure, but I feel like it kind of changes the tone a little bit rather than being just brown. So I'm doing most of it and leaving a space in the front, the highlight area where I'm going to come back with the 40, and I'm going to finish it off. Hi, Sherry. Look, everybody's popping in just to see what I meant when I said I was the walrus. I would be the walrus tonight. I would be it. I thought that was funny, play on words. So, yeah. I joked with you guys. I was being funny tonight. I guess I'm in rare sorts of being humorous tonight. Isn't he just the cutest? Look, he looks like he is so I'm on top of the world. That's why I like him so much. These are available in the shop if you're interested. It's www.sweetsentiment.us. I'm going to start off by doing the areas where most of the shadow would be. And I'm going to include underneath his little chin, but behind his tusks here. A little bit under his wrinkles. So they really stand out. Hi, Michelle. And so I'm just getting a little bit of that going on in here. I want to put a little bit down here along the back side of this tusk and along this tusk because there would be a lot of shadow there. And we're going to do this whole guy all in one shot, so I'm not going to break him up into pieces. I'm going to just roll with it all in one shot. Usually I break it up, but this time I decided not to. Just because, why not? Why not just roll with the punches tonight? I hear these walruses can be rather rough. They're tough little guys. Hi, Melanie. Look at everybody jumping on today. Were you guys out doing anything fun for Valentine's Day yesterday? I thought maybe that's why I didn't see some of you yesterday. Not that you have to watch me all the time, but just saying, you regulars, I get used to seeing your names pop up. So I thought, well, maybe they're out having fun for Valentine's Day. Hi, Patty. So I'm choosing a lot of the places where the artist drew the lines just because they're emphasizing folds, and he's going to be a little chunky dude. So I want to get his folds all in shadow. So I'm kind of using that as a guideline for where I want this to be. So I'm going to put a few little, like just a little bit in between these fins here, just to give it a little bit of personality there. I'm going to do the same thing on his little back feet, only not as big, just so it'll show up a little bit. You figure out on my end why my phone is always freezing on live videos. Oh, I know that is nerve-wracking. Yes, this is an older stamp set. I believe it came out. I just did a list of all of our stamp sets back to even before I was partnered up with Sweet Sentiment. So I can tell you exactly when it was released. If you give me 1 second, I can tell you. It was, I believe, in 2021. January of 2022. So yeah, it's a little over a year old, but it is a really, it is a really sweet stamp set. I like it a lot. And I think it's super fun, and I haven't done it in a while, so I thought I'd use a new one tonight. I am going to put a little bit up here, just kind of, we're going to make him look just a little bit tougher. Okay, so popping on down now to T7. And this is just building our darkest area for us first. And thank you for joining me tonight, those who are on here joining me. I am extending out from where I put the darkest shadow, just giving it a little bit more with this T7. But we'll be washing a little bit of it out when we keep going down. I mean, lighter with the colors, so it will be okay. We're also going to put a little bit of brown in here. I know that's not my norm, but I thought I would think outside the box tonight. I've been playing a little bit with mixing some new colors together, so I thought that would be kind of fun just to add in something different. We're going to start building in his little pucker here, because why not? And what's behind his little nose or snoot or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so coming down his back, we're going to start up a little bit higher and extend out a little bit more on these marks that the artist made. Kind of giving them a little bit more folds, making them a little more fluffy. Just a little more fluffy. But they're supposed to be fluffy, so it's all good. Cheryl and Brinsko, were your ears burning last night? I know, we missed them. We noticed that you weren't here. We thought about you, so if you ever wondered if you're missed when you're absent, you are. We were thinking about you. Okay. So we have more than 5 colors in this. It was all nice. You heard on the replay? Yep. I said if you guys watched the replay, you'd be like, "Oh, they talked about us. They thought they were sad we were missing." So T6 would normally be the middle color, but since we're going to add some of the tones that we put on the tusks into the body, this might not be the middle color. I think we're going to go with the next color being like the mid-tone color. This guy's going to be a little bit darker than we normally do, Walrus, but I want him to really stand out. So I'm making him just a little bit darker than normal. Oh, you were visiting her. Oh, you're so sweet. I bet she really appreciated that. Okay, let's see. Let's start building this in just a little bit. I think I'm going to kind of make his face. It's going to have the black in it, but it's also going to have a lot of the brown in it. I think that'll make it look cool and different. I had to finish editing all the photos today from the photo shoot yesterday, so I was busy all day working on that. They came out really good. I'm super happy with them. I fell asleep while watching the replay. Oh, I hope I wasn't boring. Or you were just tired. That's okay too, either way. try to make it fun. Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything new? Did you see how I did colored the stencil again? I love doing that. You guys should try it. It's super fun. I have an obsession with it. I have a whole bunch of them on my desk right now that need to be colored. But I didn't want to wear you guys out too much with the same thing, so I didn't plan to do that tonight. Try to give you something different. You were tired, I bet. Okay, I'm going to go with the T5 before I put the brown in. I think I need one more gray, and then I'm going to put the brown in. This one will be significantly lighter, so it will be more of the true-ish color. But I'm going to make the true color a mix between the brown and the gray. We're going to try to use the the browns that we used on the tusks, but we might have to change that up just a little bit. So I'm not sure that it'll be dark enough. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, you can rewatch it again. Oh, yeah. It's out on YouTube. I always put them out the night right after I do the live, if Facebook will let me download it. Then I usually put it out there right away before I go to bed. That way anybody that missed it can pick up on it and watch it. This is kind of fun. He's got so many little wrinkles and moves and curves to his skin. You can do a lot with him. Oh, that's a great point, Cheryl. I did not know that, but I bet it doesn't. And it's funny because I download the exact same video that you guys see here, so I don't know why. Now we're going to switch to the E43. And I am going to do a bit of going over the last color, just so this will get mixed in really well in some of the areas that are already covered up. So you can kind of start to see how that brown will show up. It looks a little funny right now. He is like a Shar-Pei. Yeah, I think it's Facebook too. You can see how it's kind of starting to mix, and it's a little bit different. It looks a little scratchy and not smooth, but all of that is going to get significantly better here in just a little bit when I go over it again with the gray, the last gray color that I have. It will mix those two together very nicely. At least I hope it will, and if not, we'll keep coloring until it does. But I wanted him to look a little different than just doing a solid colored little guy. So this is kind of overpainting, sort of. Overpainting the gray colors with a brown color. Kind of just trying to give him a different look. Looks a little funny right now, but bear with me. Don't go away. Hang out and you'll see how it all comes together. It's still kind of cool, huh? Hi, Mary Jane. Yes, it probably is Facebook. They give me a hard time sometimes. Okay, so that's our E43. And now, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to switch over to the T4. And this is going to kind of bring those two together a lot more. So I'm going to kind of go over the whole thing with this one. So this is going to be like a blend it together kind of. I don't want to go over it too much, just a little bit. So it still keeps that somewhat of a brown tone. And I might go over it with E42 if I want to bring some of that brown back in. But I like mixing these together because you get such a different look. So I'm just going over it real quick and then back the other way, just so that the ink can lay on the paper and get a smooth coat. Look at how cool that looks. Really, it looks good. It looked kind of funny there for a little bit, but it is coming together now. And it's not washing out all of my dark areas, so I like that. Plus, when you start getting down on these very low numbers in the grays, they start, the way they react gives it a bit of a textured look, which is really neat. And so you can use your markers to get texture as well, depending on what colors you use. And now we're going to go over this part right here. I'm going to do this part just a little bit lighter because I really want to keep a lot of that brown up here. Now, isn't that cool? I like it. So we're going to hit it, I think, just a little bit more with this E42, kind of over the areas I had put the brown, just to put a little bit more brown back in there. Just a teeny bit, so not too much, just a little bit to bring some of that brown back in there. So I want you to be able to see the brown as well. So I'm kind of randomly putting it on there, so there's not really a rhyme or reason, just because I'm just trying to coat it with a little bit more of that brown. There we go. So his little face here looks more brown than the rest of them, but isn't that pretty awesome? So don't be afraid to mix your colors. I'll hold it up a little closer so you guys can really see. Don't be afraid to mix your colors. Look at that amazing result you get. I'm going to do one more little touch up, and I think I'm going to do it with the E42, and that's right here. I don't really have such a smooth color there, so I wanted to fix that up. I'm going to use my multi-liner to darken his eyes. I know, isn't it awesome? I love the way it comes out. I was playing with it the other day and I was like, ooh, I gotta use this color more often. And now I'm just gonna put a little bit of these like whiskers back in here so they show up just a little bit better, because I really want his little whiskers to show up. So I'm just really going over the artist drawn lines to make those whiskers stand out. And I'm going to do the same thing with his eye, his eyebrow. And I'm going to make his eye just a little bit bigger because I think you need to be able to see his eye. All right. So now we have him colored. We need to color our... I'm going to take these out of my stand. We need to color our ice block. The rest of it I'm going to do with oxides, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of color in this ice block first. So I want to mix the B's and the BG's because I like to mix those two together, and I want it to be kind of light, so I'm going to use really light colors. So I'm going to do my shadow, I think, with BG11. And then I'm going to switch over to B000. And then I'm going to go to BG000. And then I'm going to do B000. That's a lot of zeros. And then I'm going to use my colorless blender to kind of wash it out. You like it? It's cute. And you saw how quick we colored him up. That's why I knew we'd have time for a background. Okay, so this is BG11. So what I want to do is just put this color like where this shadow is. I like to use the BGs when I'm doing water and ice and stuff like that. I just think the BG really gives it a little bit of a different personality. So it's just my favorite, but you know, everybody can have their own personal choice on that. It's up to you. So I'm just kind of putting it where you would see a little shadow, and then maybe underneath this line where the ice folds over, or, you know, squares off, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there. It's not, you like listening to the Bee Gees? Me too. I do like them. We used to have a Bee Gees record when I was little. Does that tell my age? The Best of the Bee Gees, or the whatever it was called. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but. And now I'm using the B000, and I'm just extending out that shadow area. I'm not really putting a whole lot anywhere else. I just want to extend out that first level that I put in there. It kind of makes it a little bit thicker, and a potential for it to stay once I start using the colorless blender that will kind of wash it all out a little bit. And I think we sort of missed this with the other one, so we're going to have to come back in and put a little bit in there. Well, hey, you're an 80s girl? Me too. I'm an 80s girl. This is the BG11 that I started with. I missed that part when I was coloring it, so I had to come back in, and now we're going to just do the same thing we did with the rest of it. So we're just building him an ice block. Now I'm going to go to BG000. So we just did B000. Now we're going to do BG000. It's a little bit lighter. The B's are a little bit darker than the BGs in that category. So I like to use more of the BGs than the B's. This is kind of the middle color, so it's the true color, if you will, and so I put a little bit more of this color in there. And look at how that ice cube is coming to life, man. I love that. I love that block of ice. We had some penguins and some bears that you can use that ice with. It's awesome. So this is, all you can say is you're an old lady. Yeah, I was feeling that today too. B000. So when I went yesterday to do all that photography stuff, I did it at the Arboretum. So I don't know if you guys know what that is or what that's like, but of course there weren't a lot of flowers blooming, but there were a lot of trees and some waterfalls, and it was really, really pretty. It's prettier in the summer, I won't lie, and the spring, but I went there, and I was, oh my gosh, I walked all around for like a couple of hours before they got there checking out everything, and then after they got there with them, and then all the way back. And today my thighs hurt so bad. I was like, I'm so out of shape. So this is the colorless blender, and what we're doing is just going over it with the colorless blender to kind of smooth out those two colors we put together and kind of push the ink into the spots that I wanted, leaving these spaces pretty white. So I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm really saturating. So with the other markers, you'll notice I held it up right and I did small strokes. That was because I was just putting a little bit of the color on the paper, and now I'm putting a whole bunch more color on the paper. Oh, I bet, Cheryl, I bet it did. No, you're not. I'm older than you think, probably. I feel older than I think. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes I feel like a young pup. But, you know, not always. Okay. So now we have this cute little walrus colored. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm going to cover him up. just like I did when we stamped him. I think I have him up a little too high. Hold please. Let me peel him off and try again. I don't want to do him too far because then, up too far on the black, because then it will mess up. There'll be a white line between the oxide and the image that we're doing. So I have to make sure I get it on there really good. You'll be 64 in July? Wow. That surprises me a little, Renska. I thought you were closer to my age. You sure don't look like it, girl. You should be proud. Carry that 64 proud. All right, so placing the ice block over top as well. Okay, so now we have all white walrus and blocks. You'll be 63. That was hard for me to type. Oh, I bet that was hard to type. Wow, Michelle, I didn't think that of you either. I really didn't. I didn't think either one of you guys were in your 60s. Hi, Antoinette. I thought you guys were in the same as me. I thought you guys were the same as me. Okay, so I chose, so my hubby made me a cube to hold my oxides on my desk when I'm working on a color combo. And I chose these 5 colors. So Uncharted, Mariner, Broken China, and Speckled Egg are going to be my water area. Yes, we are all young at heart. And then Tumbled Glass and Milled Lavender are going to be the sky area. I want there to be a little bit of purple in the sky that kind of separates the actual water from the sky. So that's sort of my goal. So I'm going to start with the Uncharted Mariner, I guess, if that Mariner, whatever however you say that. I don't know. I'm not very good at pronouncing these names, but it's M-A-R-I-N-E-R. And I love this color. It is so pretty. So I'm going to start at the bottom. It doesn't matter if I go over the mask. That's the reason we put it on there. Oh, you can hear my drink over here shaking. I have to tell you, I bought this desk at IKEA. I love the desk. It's not a problem at all. The desk is great, but it's not as stable as I would like. Right? You're still a fighter. Good job, Cheryl. I will tell you that I've noticed that my hands look older. Now y'all are all going to look at my hands. I probably shouldn't have said that on the live while you guys are looking at my hands. But I always feel like my hands are looking older. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Broken China. And the way I know, I have a different brush for each one. I'm younger than you guys. I didn't think I was, but I guess I am. This one is Broken China. And I have my name on each brush because I have a brush for each one, and I just refilled the oxides a couple days ago, so they're pretty juicy now, which was my intent. So he's gonna look like he's actually floating in the water for sure. You always look at my hands. That is so true. You're right. I guess that I stepped right into that, didn't I? Okay, so he looks like he's, oh, nice in the ocean. And why I keep coloring over that ice block, I have no idea, because we both know that that's a mask. But I keep doing it like it's not. I'm going to come in one more time with the leftover ink on the Uncharted so I can make sure this is really smooth. I want these 2 colors to blend really smoothly together. And then Speckled Egg is going to be my last one. Yeah, my hands and my arms. Mine are nice and smooth. I don't know about that. They look a little bit different than they used to look quite a while ago. So this one is Speckled Egg. Although my tattoo still looks good, see? Oh. So I'm happy about that. It's not wrinkled or anything yet. Okay, so this one, I thought the Speckled Egg would look really good because it would almost be like a kind of where you're trying to decide between the sky and the water. Is it sky or is it water? And I'm okay with that. Stay down, little mask. But I figured we hadn't done oxides in a while, and Dale made me these cool oxide holders, so I might as well use them, right? Coming back in with my broken china just to sort of reinforce that blue color I wanted right there. Blend them together and make it look really cool. One more time with the speckled to smooth it out. There we go. So we're getting a real pretty, oh, you can see it a lot better when I put my hand over the light, huh? Well, you can see a really good blend between this ocean colors, and I kind of think I want this one to come up just a tad bit higher. There we go. Not that it really matters. It's super cute no matter how you look at it, but I'm going to turn my light just a little bit. What? Really? I didn't know that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't watch the news very often. I don't have cable. I don't actually pay for any cable. I quit that a long time ago. And so usually if I'm not on Facebook, I don't usually see any of the news. And if I do see something on Facebook, then I go back and look it up to see if it's legit. Or when one of you guys tell me, hey, did you know blah, blah, blah happened? Then I go look it up. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. But you can almost always, it is very sad. You can almost always know news before me. Usually Dale fills me in. He watches the news or follows the news and stuff, and I don't. So it just makes me sad, so I just don't do it. Okay, I wanted to clean up before I started with these colors because these colors are much lighter than the ones I was using. Wow, she did great. Made it to 82. That's awesome, but I would love to live longer than that. But then wouldn't we all? Yeah, she was 82. That's sad. '82 is still kind of young to me. I think 82 is still young. I don't know what you guys think. It's all bad news. Where's my peanut gallery tonight? Well, Jack seems to be out in the other room with Dale. And Dale is working on craft. He's, let's see, how can I say that? He is in production of some items he wants to do. So he's out there working on the computer in the other room. Hi, Lori. Long time no see. Not that I can actually see you, but I can see your picture. They want to know where my peanut gallery is tonight. Okay, I'm going to start with the milled lavender at the top. Although, not sure if I really wanted it closer or not, but we're going to go ahead and roll with it up here. It's very, very light, so I may go over it with the tumbled glass anyway. But I thought it would look, I'm going to grab a Kleenex to put my hand over. I don't want to mess up my pretty too. Right? It's looking younger and younger. Yes, for sure. Hi, Lori. I'm so glad you jumped on. It's nice to see you around. I can see your picture, but I can't actually see you. But you can see my hands. Okay. So we have a little bit of the milled lavender, and then we're going to switch to tumbled glass. I think did I use the wrong one earlier? I'm just going to clean off my tumbled glass real quick just to make sure. Okay. I love tumbled glass. It's one of my favorites. You too, Mom? Okay. So I got that a little bit dark. I'm going to go in through the purple because I want to kind of blend all of that together to make it look a little bit more like sky. So it'll have some tumbled glass and some of the milled lavender in it. I'm hoping this is going to come out good. I made these colors up in my head before I started this live, so I hope they go well. We'll see. It's going to look like a nice, really cold day. That's what I think. That's what I was going for anyway, but we'll see. So I'm just kind of mixing them together. Some spots I'm going to make a little bit darker with the tumbled glass, and some I'm not. Kind of so it's a little cloudy. But there we go. I think that's pretty cool. Walk, talk, remember things, and have good health. Oh, you and me both. So I think that's pretty cool. I think I'm done. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to wipe off. I just use water and wipe off my desk. Because, you know, it's oxides after all. And I'm thinking I might put a little bit of water on this. Yes. It is new release on Saturday. Thank you for saying that, because last night I crazily said, oh, it's the third weekend of the month. It's not this weekend. It'll be later. And then I realized, oh my gosh, we are on the third weekend already. Yeah, I do that too, Michelle. So yes, release date is Saturday. And, oh, you guys, make sure you stay tuned. Because we're going to be showing all the stuff we made and all the cool new stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be so excited. New, unique looking stuff coming out. Okay, so I grabbed a piece of acetate. It's not anything special, but I grabbed a piece of acetate so I can put it over the sky, and then I can squirt the water on the water, if you will. I'm going to squirt water on the water part so that we can get the stuff to look kind of a little more watery. I want to do big droplets. There we go. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of water on there, but I didn't want to get it in the sky. I just wanted it to be at the bottom. So now I'm just going to go around, kind of touch in different areas so it can look kind of wet. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a wet look, and I'm hoping it's not going to leave like a line. And it did not, so that was great. So did you guys see that little trick I did? I just put the acetate over it so it would look like water, but it wouldn't get on the sky. Okay. All right, now is the ultimate time. You guys ready? We're going to peel this off, and it's a little wet, so we have to be really careful when we peel it off. Ooh, look at that ice block. Now, if that doesn't look like ice, I don't know what does. And now, drum roll, here comes our walrus. Oh my gosh. It looks so good. I love it. What do you guys think? It almost looks real, doesn't it? Just floating out there on its little ice block. Okay. I'm loving how that came out. So the next step we need to do is we need to put our sentiment on. So I'm going to pull out my Misty again. And yes, I do stamp on my already completed images. As long as I have the Misty, I don't mind doing it because I can stamp 2 or 3 times. Sorry about the squeaky noise. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. It came out way better than I imagined in my head, but I'm not a real good visual person. I have to do hands-on. I'm just a hands-on kind of chick. Okay, so I'm going to place it in here. Let me move it so you guys can see it. I'm going to place it in here, and I'm going to put the big kahuna magnet right there. I don't think we'll have to trim this down, but we might if we decide to mask. So I was thinking I would put it on this side. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think we're going to stamp friend over here, and we're going to stamp I will walrus be your on this side. So we're going to break up the stamp. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before. Hopefully I don't hose this up, but we're going to try it. So I usually use a sticky note to do it. So I'm going to place this where I want it to be. Let me make sure. I think I want friend to be all the way over here. So I think this one could go right here. All right, we're going to eyeball it and hope it works. Here we go. You know I always like trying new things with you guys. Okay, so we have it lined up, but we don't want any of this, okay? So I'm going to take sticky note, but the mask back on, then it will look like it's going behind his head. It would, but then you wouldn't be able to read the sentiment very well. Okay, so I take the sticky part of this Post-it note and stick it over. And then I see there's another little corner, so I'm going to pull a sticky. This part is still showing, and I do not want it to show. So I'm just going to place that over top of the word friend. Hi, Lisa. And then I'm going to take my ink pad, and I'm going to ink it up on this side. Well, that didn't work too well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my, do I have a tiny block in black? Oh, I don't. All right, we're doing it. Okay, here we go. We're going to take this off. We're going to ink it up. Because if I put the ink on here, it's going to come off on the paper, and I don't want it to. So I got to make sure it's dry. Stamp it on the paper. Stay. And then you talk to it, and it works. Stay. Then we're going to rub it on there. So it say, I will walrus be your. And then we're going to do this same thing, but we're going to do it with the opposite part of the stamp. So I got to clean this stamp. And then I got to move it. So then I'm going to dry it. I've done this a few times with other stamps. Just a teeny tiny little spot. But I have a fix for that too, I think. So we'll try that in a minute. But it just almost perfect. Rinska covering her eyes. Oh no!
Perfect spot for an enamel dot.
Perfect spot for an enamel dot. Okay. So now I'm going to lay this one on there where I want the friend to be. And the cool part is I have a lot of sticky notes. And the part at the top, it's almost the whole thing is easy. And then there's one little spot we'll have to cover up. So let's ink it up first. And this one's on the end, so it's a little easier to ink up without getting it all over the other words. Okay. Then we're going to place this over here. And then I'm going to take this little one that we used on the other one, stick it right there. stay. Talk to it. Lay this down. Press it on there. Voila! We did it! Okay, good night, Lori. We're almost done anyway, so you won't miss much. Look at that. That worked out perfectly. I love it. All right, so there we go. So you don't have to stick with the sentiment exactly the way it's written. You can manipulate it the way you want. We could have also cut it out of paper and put it however we wanted it, but this worked out great. Okay, so now we have to decide on what color background paper we want on our card. I already have all my paper cut, so we just need to pick a couple. I have this one called Seafoam that I love, but I don't think it's going to match. No, probably not. So I have some light, like a light teal. That one's kind of pretty. And then I have a darker one. Maybe we could double matte it. I have this darker one. And we could double matte it like this. Probably the opposite way. Like this. What do you guys think? Does that look good? I like that. I think I'm going to go with it. Unless you guys say no, then I think I'm going to just roll with it like this. Okay, so we're going to have to cut down our card just a tad so we can mat it, because I love double matting. Oh, look at you, Michelle, reading my mind. I love double matting too. Ooh, I just love how this walrus came out. Seriously, I'm super happy with it. Okay, so we have it about where we need it to be. We're going to do just a tad bit more. And then let's see about this side. I'm going to take a hair off the bottom and a hair off the top, because I want to keep a lot of that on there. There we go. So I like that. Hey, get your fuzzies off of there. That's unacceptable. Now we have another spot for our little fixer-upper. Can I give sizes on what I'm cutting? I'm gonna have to put my oxide back over this because that did not work. Or I can put dots or water or whatever. Okay, so this one I cut at the mark in between 1/4 and 5 1/4. So 5 1/8 is what I did this way. And then on this one, I did 3 7/8. And that way it gives me enough that when I do the paper one, I can do it at 5 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 4/8. Wait, ooh, I need to do it this way. 5 4/8 this way. And then this way, I want to do it 4 1/8. And then that way, it fits perfectly on here. Well, it's a little big for this one, so I could make it a little smaller, but it fits perfectly on here. Most of the time. The card, I always do my cards at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I just go 1/8 of an inch smaller for the mat and 1/8 of an inch smaller for the image that's getting put on the matting. So this one looks like it's a little bigger. I might have cut this one a little shorter than I normally do, but I think it's still going to work. Let's cut it a little bit more. Usually I can eyeball this a little better, but not tonight. Can you give the size. Yes, the card size. I always do A2 cards, always. Unless it's a slimline card. Every now and then I'll do a slimline card, but for the most part, it's A2 size. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of fixing on this area right here where I had lifted up some of the paper, I had smeared some of the black. I kind of went too quick. And so I tried to use my sand eraser, which you can use if you haven't oxided all over it. So I'm just taking my 2 sky colors and putting them over there again. They're all fixed. And then I take my napkin and kind of wipe it over the words so they don't get too dark. And we are definitely going to put some water droplets on this, I think. You like it? Okay, let's glue this little guy on here. All right. So here we go. Barely Art glue, best glue ever. You can get it on our website. It's refillable and it comes with the tips. So you don't have to buy any. Sometimes I can lay this down perfectly and sometimes I have to stand up. But tonight, I don't think I have to stand up. Well, it blends really good with the bottom of the water, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to use my espresso to kind of burnish that on there. And then you guys know me, because you do this with me a lot. I missed this spot right here, so I'm just going to put some glue up underneath here, which is another reason why I love this glue. Perfect. Is I always fold my cards first, burnish them. You always have to stand up. I used to, but I think I'm just kind of getting a little more used to it. But I had to stand up for years trying to line things up. And then I always have the inserts for my cards printed and cut and ready to go. So I can just grab one and complete my card. I used to stand up every single time, but lately I've been doing pretty good not standing up, so I'm kind of happy about that. So now we're pressing this one down, and then I flip it over, and after I press on it, I sign it. Always sign your cards. People used to tell me that in the very beginning, and I was like, yeah, nobody's going to care if I sign it. But you really do want to sign it because somebody could try to send your card on to someone else, and you want them to know you made it in case they want more like it or have any questions about it. It's always good to have it on there. Okay, so then when you flip it over, then you can put this on there. Oh, I probably should have stamped it there, huh? Oh, well. It is what it is. It's a card. It's handmade. Most people don't look at the back of the card anyway unless they want to know who made it. Alright, so here we go. So the mat is 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then the image is 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. Yes, you can. Jamie got it for me. Has my name, has our site, and then it has the me girl, copic girl on it. And then hers has the her copic girl on it. And then I have raindrops, you guys. Seriously. Water droplets. I might put them on. So this is my honey bowl. Has some of these. They're all different sizes, droplets of water. So we could make it rainy or like it's sleeting. I think I want to put that one down lower. I can put this one up higher. I'm going to try to cover that little black spot. And then no one will see it. And then we can put a medium one. They come in all different sizes. So they're small, medium, and large in here. If I can find a medium one. Maybe I'll just go with 2 little ones. Oh, that is the medium. This is the tiny one. So we can drip some water on this side. The lettering looks like my signature. I know. I kind of sign like that. I think that's why I like that writing so much, that font so much, because it looks just like my handwriting. Okay, and we'll put a couple over here. Not a whole bunch, just a few. And we could just put 5 total. I think that's enough on the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift these up. Ooh, if I can get a hold of them. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue where I want that dot to be. I really need to refill my glue. You guys heard me say that last night. I still haven't done it. You can see the glue through the water droplet when you first put it down, but it'll dry and then you won't see it and you won't have to worry about it. Good pick. You like them? I know I love these water droplets. Like if it's raining, if you have an umbrella, or if you do something water. They kind of look like ice though to me. I know they're water droplets, but this guy's, even if it's a bad day, I will always be your friend. Always, even on rainy days, or icy days, or snowy days, any day. I need to get one of those picker tool things, man, seriously. I do not have one of those. I bought one from Stampin' Up, but I'm not sure how to use it yet. These, I can't remember where I got these dots. I ordered these dots. I mean, I got these dots from somebody online. I just happened to be on their site and was like, ooh, they have water droplets? Those are amazing. I need those. So, I bought them. And if it squirts outside of the raindrop, it doesn't really matter because it's going to dry clear, so it's not going to be a problem. We need to get this one where we need it to be. Turn around, little guy. This is probably the hardest part of the card. There we go. Slippery little suckers we got. Look at that. Isn't it just the cutest? Put a tiny one on his cheek. Let's see. Do I have really tiny one? I think these are the tiniest ones I have. Like he's crying. Oh, that would be great on an I miss you card. I miss you. That looks like a teardrop. I can't do it. He's not a sad walrus tonight. He's like he was crying. I know. It's so cute. Look, see, we covered our little boo-boo so nobody can see it. And the colors are pretty. I like the colors. And he came out really good. And see how just that little bit of blue that we put around there really made that ice brighten up like ice. He's just hanging out. I love it. I love the way it came out. I'm super happy. I hope you guys are happy with it too. So if you don't have the stamp set, you can get it in the shop. It is Wednesday, so I will be live again tomorrow. We have a new release on Saturday, so be looking for some inspiration in the group and possibly some live videos showing you, Jamie and I showing you what we created for the new release. And I'm going to tell you, my set is going to be so different than what you guys have seen. Like, yeah, it's unique. So definitely check that out because you won't want to miss out on that. The whole release is awesome. So come and see us tomorrow night, 9:30 Central, same time as tonight, and we'll do another something. And if you have any requests of different things that you'd like us to do or me to do on my live, let me know. Jamie will be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then I will be joining you from Arizona on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. So I will see you guys then. I'm taking all of my stuff with me and planning my things early so that I will have everything I need while I'm there. And, you'd love to, thank you so much, you guys. And yes, so next week I'll probably be coloring from the new release. So you guys will get to see some of that colored up. So if you have any requests, let me know. Before Friday, because I leave on Friday for Arizona. And don't forget, we still have the retreat. And the website is www.sweetsentiment.us if you like any of the stuff that you saw tonight, or you want to check out what the new release is next week. Make sure you check us out on YouTube if you want to watch the replay. Cheryl says it doesn't interrupt on the replay, so definitely come check it out. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I love that you guys came and hung out with me. I know the new release, Saturday. Nope, you can't see the new release till Saturday. So you're right. You won't be able to tell me anything from the new release till Saturday, so I'll just take it all with me. How about that? Then you can ask on Saturday. You're right. Good catch, Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Good night.